Hello everyone, I am Vibha Chauhan and welcome to Jahil Classes Funda Clear. So today I will explain class 8 Civics chapter 4. Chapter is Understanding Laws. So as the name suggests, understanding laws, we will understand laws, we will discuss about laws in this chapter. So till now you may have heard about some laws like the laws which specify the people's age to marry, like the laws for traffic laws for example, and the laws like adult franchisee. You may have heard about some laws, but there are more laws, there are abroad these laws, there are more and more laws if you study civics. So in this chapter we will discuss about laws, we will discuss do all these laws apply to everyone in the citizen, in the country, in any country. We will discuss about in India, we will discuss laws in India in precise you can say, and we will discuss are there any laws that are unpopular and controversial. We will discuss in this chapter all these things. So what are the topics of this chapter? The topics of this chapter are: do laws apply to all? How do new laws come about? Unpopular and controversial laws. So our first topic is, do laws apply to all? So, do laws apply to all? For example, if I give you a situation where there is a culprit who is the son of a government official and he is a culprit, but his father, as he was a government official, he hid him somewhere because it was his trial, it was his sentence for 10 years, so he hid him. So was it right? No, it wasn't right, it was wrong, as there were abolition of the laws, because in India there is rule of law, not rule by law. So this is abolition of the rule of law, because rule of law, there are all people equal before law, there are all citizens in India are equal before law. Before you can say they are all sentenced, they can be sentenced, neither government official or even the president of India cannot be hidden from the sentences that are given by the judiciary system of India, because they are these laws, their laws are made for all citizens of India equally, they are all treated equally. This is rule of law, that means rule that are provided by laws. And is this system, are all these systems were from ancient time? No, they weren't, because in ancient times, in ancient India, there were not any specified laws, they were different, there were discrimination on people, there are discrimination between people on the basis of gender, caste, religion, because at ancient time in India, there were very discrimination, and there was a rule by law, because there were so many parts of India, everywhere, every part in India. In every part of India, there were different laws for different people. If there are two people and they have done same mistake, they have done same crime, but they are given different sentences because they are from different genders or from different castes. If they are from upper class, then their sentence will be low, but if they were from a lower caste, then their sentence was very high. So you can say that this was a discrimination, and this type of government, you can say this type of ruling is called as rule by law. That was wrong, and it is often believed that rule of law, that the laws in India are provided by colonial period, are provided by Britishers in India, but historians have refused to this. Historians has denied to this statement, you can say. They say because there are two reasons for this. First, that British British laws were arbitrary, and second was that Indian nationalists have also contributed towards the laws of India, towards making laws for independent India, for India you can say. So Britishers' rules were very arbitrary, because there were discrimination between British people and Indian people, and even in Indian people there were discrimination, you can say. And as example, you can say the Sedition Act of 1870. Sedition Act of 1870, that was that if Britishers found any person that they were raising voice against Britishers or even giving a speech, they were given freedom, then they could trial them and they could arrest them in the jail, they could give them to the jail, they can send them into the jail, prison you can say, even without the trial in the court. So that was discrimination, that was wrong, that was inequality. So the British rules were arbitrary, you can say. And second was that Indian nationalists has also contributed towards the making of law, because there was many movements, and after the adoption of constitution in India, there are many laws that are made by Indian nationalists. They have also contributed towards the laws, towards the making of laws in India. So that is all about do laws apply to all. That is, in India there is rule of law, not rule by law. So next topic is, how do new laws come about? So how do new laws come about? In India there have been made so many laws, but ideas of laws, how to make laws, in what topic the laws should be made, where do it come from? Where does it come from? This is from the citizens of India. The ideas of making laws is from citizens of India. The contribution of citizens of India, that means we the citizens of India have to contribute, have to raise voice, have to protest if we want to make a laws. That means, for example, you can take example of domestic violence. Domestic violence, that means earlier there was a practice of, you can say, domestic violence in homes, in houses. There was a lots of domestic violence, and for this, to prevent females from domestic violence, there had been so many protests, there had been so many march, you can say, there had been so many struggles. And in 1990 was these struggles, in 1990s, about 1990s, you can say, these struggles raised, and many women come from different areas and raised voice against this, to prevent them from this domestic violence. And this law, if parliament members, you can say, the lawmakers, you can say, listen the voice of citizens, listen the voice of media, what they do want, and thus they make laws. So they listen their voice, they listen their struggles, and after that in parliament a bill was passed and came into effect in 2002. But that was not what women wanted, that was wrong, that was against them. So they again raised voice, and that time many lawyers, many law students, many artists, many people come from different area to help them in their struggles. And after that, a new bill, that bill was reintroduced in 2005 in parliament, and after it was passed in both houses, that means Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, then after the signature of president, it came into being, it came into effect in 2006, and thus you can say there was prevention from domestic violence. So you can say that we, the citizens, the voices of citizens, medias, newspapers, readers, are all for the formation of the laws. In India, laws are made because of us. That means we are responsible for making laws, to make, if the ideas of laws are come from us, from citizens, you can say. So this is all about how do the ideas, how do the new laws come about from the citizens of India. So the next and last topic of this chapter is unpopular and controversial laws. So unpopular and controversial laws. If I say, if a bill is passed in parliament and has been signatured by the president of India, so after it is invalid and hence it is legal. But if the citizen, if the people in that country, if in India, you can say as precisely, so what if they think that it was wrong, that means the law has become unpopular and controversial, because there are some laws that are not introduced, but that are not popular in laws, that are not popular in citizens in India, between citizens of India. For example, you can take example the laws that prevent people from vendors and hawkers to take, for example, in streets, you say there are many hawkers and vendors, they sell items, but law says that they have no right to sell them, they have no right to sell them on streets. They are people, they are urban city, and city livers have to come to this park. So you can say that there is inequality, there is discrimination, that is not. And those laws which are unpopular, those laws are controversial because they prevent hawkers and vendors to sell their items in the streets. They said that these laws said that these streets are made for city livers, then how could these vendors and hawkers can sell their items? So that's unpopular and controversial statement, you can say. So there are some laws which are unpopular and controversial, and against them there are many protests, you can say. There are many voices against it, and there are many examples of unpopular and controversial laws. Like in America, you have heard of story of Rosa Parks. You have already heard of her story in the last class. So Rosa Parks, who raised voice against the discrimination between African American and American. She was an African American and she was being discriminated in the bus. So you can see it, and after her raising voice, after when she raised voice, there was, you can say, civil rights movement, and after that there were laws made to prevent them. So you can say that there are many examples of unpopular and controversial laws, and against them there have been raised many voices, there have been many struggles, and those struggles can be made by the news media reports, you can say, from radios, from writing, you can say. So there are many ways to struggle, there are many ways to raise voice, to spread the thoughts to people, and for that we citizens, you can say, are responsible for the whole laws in any country. In the citizens of that country are responsible for laws in India, you can say. So this is all about the chapter. We have discussed about laws, we have understood what are laws, how do laws come about. We have discussed some unpopular and controversial laws. So this is all about the chapter. I have discussed all topics, and I'll be covering next chapters in further videos. So thank you very much.